Welcome back, True Seeker. Monday, February 16th, 2026, President's Day, as we call it in the United States. And the top headline early is Obama clarifying his remarks about aliens. This weekend, everywhere it said, they're real. Obama reveals on podcast, aliens are real. And there wasn't much explanation to that, but it was a headline. So today we get the deeper story on President's Day. And Obama says, well, listen, I was in a lightning round, and really all I meant was the universe is massive, so they must be out there. And these are the kind of thoughts and ideas we've heard a gazillion times growing up in this world. And when you go to school and you learn about how big space is, assuming all that's true, seems like a relatively logical conclusion to say, yeah, it's very possible they're out there if it's that big. But here's the thing. I don't care about any of that. I care about how it's news by the numbers all day, every day, and all this ritualism, and how all these rituals, again, I think, are here to keep us distracted from what matters. Our government plays games with us every day, so does our media. We're lied to by our government media every day. We're overtaxed. We're being taken to a very dangerous place. We're along on a ride as we watch this police military surveillance state get built around us. That's what matters. But I like to point out the ritualism along the way. So think about how perfect it is that this year, President's Day, lands on the 47th day of the year, February 16th. And think about how perfect this ritual is to have Obama, out of the living presidents, be the guy for this ritual. Obama took office at age 47, along Joe Biden, who was the 47th vice president, who spent 47 years in the federal government before he was installed as president himself. And yes, he was installed, just like all these guys get installed. Don't forget who told you more than a year in advance they'd install Joe Biden in the 2020 election. But with regards to aliens, 47 was the year. Again, up in Seattle, they have the Space Needle on the 47th parallel in tribute to the first official UFO sighting. That was in front of Mount Rainier. Learn Gematria. Rainier equals 47, like Seattle's on the 47th parallel. Again, that happened in 1947. And shortly after the Rainier UFO sighting, it was Roswell in New Mexico, the 47th state. Again, 47 is this very special number. And actually something I learned recently from a guest that we're going to have on later today is that if you look up the first ever man to climb to the summit of Mount Rainier, his name was Trump, which also equals 47. Of course, we're in the time of a chump who is the 47th president. But yeah, this was Trump going back and forth with Biden in the 2020 election, saying, I've done more in 47 months than Biden's done in 47 years. Again, if you're new here, Gematria, simple practice of coding numbers into words. It's based on the alphabetic order, forwards and backwards with numerology applied. There's 4 base ciphers, thus a word will produce 4 values. President, White House, government, authority, Republican, Whig, Democrat, DC, Trump, all 47. You can add on to that list. The word news is 47. And, huge number with this nation's history. The cornerstone was laid in a Masonic ritual by George Washington on September 18th, 1793, a date with 47 numerology. The CIA was established in 47. The Masons studied the 47th problem of Euclid, which has to do with, well, we learned about in geometry class, it's a squared plus b squared plus c squared. The ancients would use the formula for making foundations perfectly square. But, anyway, just that 47, high ritual number. And the update, in an interview conducted by YouTuber Brian Tyler Cohen, which was released on Saturday, that was Valentine's Day, Obama discussed a myriad of issues and criticized President Donald Trump's administration. So on the 45th day of the year, and now here we are on the 47th. You see that ritualism? Obama took a few lighthearted questions during the lightning round at the end of the interview, including one where Cohen asked, "Are aliens real?" I wish I could have had this interview. It would have been a lot more intriguing for the people. I said, remember, Barack? Remember April 30th, 2011, the White House Correspondents' Dinner? You had Trump in attendance. It was the Church of Satan's 45th birthday. It was 45 days before Trump's birthday. And you told us that Trump was going to be number 45. You showed up the White House, or you showed us the White House lit up like a Trump casino. Did you come up with that joke, or were there people behind you that came up with that joke? I just find it funny. The Church of Satan's 45th birthday, and now Trump runs on MAGA, the highest degree of the Church of Satan. In this case, he's being interviewed by a Synagogue of Satan member on the 45th day of the year. You see the latest joke? The former president said they're real, but I haven't seen them, before adding they are not being kept in Area 51. Don't forget words like conspiracy and federal equate to 51. So does tinfoil hat, the stereotypical remark for anybody who questions the government. A reference to a popular conspiracy theory. There it is right there. Conspiracy equals 51 in Gematria. I remember when I first learned Gematria way back in 2013, and I saw that, I thought, what in the world? I mean, I have an old school video wearing a tinfoil hat for effect, revealing the secret behind the number 51. Obama then said, there's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States. I mean, it is entirely possible that a lot of information is hidden from the president since it's just a puppet position and these people really aren't calling anything, which is quite obvious when you're awake. When Cohen asked him about the first question he wanted answered after becoming president, Obama quipped, "Where are the aliens?" before breaking into laughter. Yeah. Because none of this stuff is serious. And then here's the explanation. Obama's aliens comment quickly drew online interest and was picked up by several news outlets. This prompted the former president to reshare the clip on Instagram and write, "I was trying to stick with the spirit of the speed round, but since it's gotten attention, let me clarify. Statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good there's life out there." He then added, "The distances between solar systems are so great that the chances we've been visited by aliens are low, and I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials had made contact with us." Really? Okay, but yeah, what a story for the 47th day of the year. We get the clarification today on President's Day. Again, this guy took office at 47, Roswell and the Rainier sighting in 47. It's just all part of the ongoing ritualism. And the thing is, at the end of the day, this is going to add more controversy to the subject because certain people are going to be like, wait a minute, he said they're real 2 days ago. They must have gotten to him and told him to muddy the waters. They just don't want to let us know that They Live is a real documentary and Cable 54 is the real deal. And by the way, if you haven't seen They Live and don't know what I'm talking about with Cable 54, notice all the media emphasized they're real over the weekend. They're real. And sorry, Derek's calculator gets rid of the apostrophes. I know how to write it with an apostrophe. It's just his calculator takes the apostrophe out. But do you see the gematria there, real? Do you see the 54 and the most pure cipher? In fact, it's 54 forwards and backwards. If you've never seen Roddy Piper's They Live, you better check it out. Cable 54 is the enemy of the world. The aliens are here. They look just like us. You can only see them if you have the magic glasses. Again, Roddy Piper put out the tweet that They Live was a documentary on September 27th, the anniversary of the Jesuit order being recognized by Rome, and then he ended up dying on the anniversary of the Jesuit founder, Ignatius of Loyola's death anniversary, July 31st. His tweet is from September 27th. His death is July 31st. And again, the Jesuit headquarters is the Church of the Jesu, Building 54. If you look into Obama, he got into politics because of a Jesuit priest. If you look into the Jesuits, they do run this nation's country. They do run the federal city. They run the media. Are they alien? By the way, another 47 word is Vatican. We just passed the Vatican's birthday on 2/11. 2/11, the 47th prime. Kind of like how The Apprentice equals 2/11 and Trump equals 47. But anyway, yeah, don't forget Trump's also Jesuit educated, went to Fordham. Biden Jesuit educated from the well-known Jesuit town of... Oh my God, what's wrong with me? I'm drawing a blank. Where's the Office TV show set? What's wrong with me? You know that comedy on NBC, The Office? I cannot believe it. My mind, I'm just like, I think I'm developing Alzheimer's here. What in the world? Oh my God. I can't believe I can't think of the town that Joe Biden's from that The Office is set in. Yeah, a little Jesuit prep school, known for putting astronauts in space, is that prep school. Anyway, it'll come to me as soon as I end this video. We'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. Help me out in the